unmute you. Okay.
Timer, I'm ready. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Indian parents do not throw surprise parties, but when they do, it's called an arranged marriage. I got my big surprise party when I was about 27 years old. Contrary to popular beliefs that arranged marriages are an easy and quick way of getting married, they are in fact an extremely elaborate, time-consuming, detailed process, which I like to call the 3M process. And today, I'm going to be talking about my 3M experience. The first M, marketing. My parents thought that I would one day bring home a boy and say, he's the guy I want to marry. When that did not happen, they decided to take things in their hand. And that is where the marketing started. As a first step, they put up an ad in a matrimonial site. For the uninitiated here, we have matrimonial sites where parents put up profiles for their children to see if they can find a suitable groom or bride. Basically, it's a PG-rated Tinder, but for parents. So my mother used up all her creativity, and she came up with this fantastic ad for me. In fact, after reading my profile, I thought, what a wonderful girl. Even I want to meet her. Well, she mentioned I had a lot of virtues, like exceptional culinary skills, and enduring financial capabilities, and an extremely good behavior. Well, I'm none of that. But that didn't seem to matter to them. It did bother me a bit. Eventually, after a lot of discussions with my aunts, uncles, interrogations, and background verifications, they zeroed upon one profile, which suited all their criteria. Which then brings us to the second M, meeting. Now, this is a meeting like no other. It is the mother of all meetings. This is where the two families come together and decide if they want to marry each other or not. You see, arranged marriages, the familial compatibility weighs way higher than the nuptial compatibility. Basically, they just want to see if the families get together or not. And here, there is also the small aspect of speed dating that happens. I was asked to take the guy quickly away to the next room and talk to him about trivial things like our life, expectations, ambitions, and other such things. And when I got back, my aunts dragged me to a corner of the room and they said, hey, how was he? Did you like him? Is it a yes? Are you going with it? And so on and so forth. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what to say. Now, let me be honest with you. I take 30 minutes to decide what I'm going to wear. And here, after meeting a guy for barely 20 minutes, they were asking me if I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. Wow, hilarious and outrageous. So I did the only thing I could think of then. I said I needed more time. And all hell broke loose. Project managers. They want facts, figures, numbers, and so on. So my dad stormed into the room and he said, what? You want more time? You want a month? You want a week? You want a lifetime? How much more? And when the drama subsided, we decided that we were going to have about 3 to 4 months to get to know the guy and see if I wanted to go ahead with it. The following few months, it was great. It was like dating any other regular guy. But even towards the end of this period, I wasn't quite decided about the marriage aspect of it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to marry anyone at all. So I voiced this to my to-be husband. And I told him, I'm not sure. But you see, he's a very sensible guy and thankful for that. He told me, Aparna, I am just as confused as you are about this. But this I know. We are very compatible together. And more importantly, I think I like you very much. It was a proposal in disguise. And he even went on to add that this madness called marriage, this unending enigma, let's get into it and figure it out together. He had me at that. And so I said a yes, and we decided to get married. Which then leads us to the third M, the mother of all the M's, madness. I always thought my wedding would be like a Bollywood movie, you know, mindless singing, dancing, fun, and frolic. But the reality was far from it. It was an extremely chaotic experience. You see, all my life, my mother made me believe that I was solely responsible for Earth's depleting energy sources. Why? Because I used to leave the fan and light on in all the rooms all the time. And here, because it was my wedding, they were lighting up the entire street. They were lighting up the houses, the trees, the gates, the poles, the neighbor's house. Now, that man did not care if I was getting married or getting arrested. But that's not a very different thing, but still, he didn't bother. But they were doing these mindless things. And to add to my woes, I had relatives and guests coming in from all over the world, most of whom I had never ever met before and definitely don't want to meet again. Somehow, I became the center of all the attention, and they thought it was their inherent responsibility to give me life advice. So they gave me so much life advice, that by the end of it all, the day before my wedding, I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know if I was even eligible to be married anymore. I was drowning in self-doubt. I wanted to run away and vanish. But thankfully, I was reminded of that man who made a promise to me and said he would stay with me. So I decided to hold on just a little bit more. And miraculously, I made it through the night. The next day morning, we got married, the madness ended, and the life sentence started. So friends, all in all, after 10 years of being married to a wonderful guy, I can very proudly say I still don't know what marriage is about. But this much I know. It works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. But marriage promises a probability of finding someone equally crazy and passionate as you are to dwell into life and make something beautiful out of it. And that is worth it. Thank you.